I was scouting in Kentucky, and I drove down this like gravel road that led up to the public land. And it's in a, I mean, to be frank, it's kind of an Eastern Kentucky, and people tend to be a little rough around the edges. Um, and I had to go over this one lane bridge. And when there's like a house that like no front door on the house, and someone was living there, just a real rough area. And it looked like they owned a junkyard, but it wasn't a junkyard, and I got down to the public land, and the parking spot, there wasn't anybody, looked like there'd been anybody there in a long time. That things were grown up and grown over on the public land parking spot. And I hopped down, you go out of the parking spot, and it was in the hills, and you had to go through like a creek in the hills and then go back up into the hills. And I hopped out of the parking lot, went down this creek, and as soon as I hit the little walking trail that was all grown over, there was a great big sword stuck in the ground with a Chucky head, like the sword was through the Chucky head, and it was sitting there all right in the middle of the trail. And it kind of freaked me out, honestly. Like kind of a big, like a gigantic sword.
So you got a free sword?
Yeah. No, I'll be honest with you. I didn't go in there. I probably should have. I think about that often, but this was a long time ago. I mean, this was.
That's not a bad idea. I go down to places. I've been down in Indiana. You keep people out of those places by putting swords through Chucky heads and put them in
yeah, and they had like painted blood. I mean, it was pretty gory looking, but I was like, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to run into these people.
Maybe it was just a Halloween thing. Was it around Halloween?
No, it would have been September. But anyway.
Craziest. I've had so much crap happen to me over the years.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing that I can think of off the top of my head, I think less than 50% of the people here would believe me. So I contemplated, maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's true. So I'll say it. I was walking out through a field with my brother Bob, and we were going to go scouting. We're going to go set up a spot. And the trail in the field, the dirt road, kind of took a bend, like a 30-degree bend at a tree line. And when you come around the tree line, you're just suddenly like into the next field. Mm-hmm. And when we came around this corner, there was a hawk like 20 yards in front of us, on top of a rabbit. Mm-hmm. And I've always had this instinct to just chase and catch stuff. And I thought I could catch this hawk. And I ran at this hawk as fast as I could. And it started flying away with this rabbit. And it was having a hard time getting off the ground because the rabbit, rabbit's a pretty big animal for a bird. And he got just barely off the ground and got about head level and realized I was going to get him. So he let go of the rabbit. And I caught the rabbit in midair. And the rabbit was still alive. It was hurt. It had some blood in its eyes. But other than that, it was just fine. It was like the claws got into its head a little bit. And I actually ended up letting the rabbit go. But I actually caught the rabbit. It dropped it right into my hands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Too bad we didn't have that on video. That would be viral.
Yeah, right.
Another one was I found a dead full curl ram in the middle of a marsh, like miles and miles from the shore out in the cattails.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was somebody's pet or something, because out here there's no sheep or anything. But
hey, everybody. If you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.